Hello friends, this is Shalu Pal. Welcome to Learn by What channel. Today we will learn about interpersonal skills. So this is also one of the soft skills which I am going to cover today. We all use interpersonal skills every day. People with strong interpersonal skills are more successful in personal as well as professional life. So let's learn about interpersonal skill. First we will see what are interpersonal skills. Interpersonal skills are the skills required to communicate and interact with other people both individually and in groups. So as you can see, people with good interpersonal skills are able to actively listen and communicate effectively with others, whether family, friends, colleagues, customers or clients. They can manage their emotions well, work well in a team or group. Now let's see the process of interpersonal communication. Interpersonal communication is the process of information exchange. As you can see, interpersonal communication is also the ability to interact with others in the organization. So how well you can communicate with others is most important for your success in the job. It involves sending and receiving information between two or more people in an organization. It is the process of information exchange. So there you can see there are four major components in the process. As you can see in this image, it's sender, message, channel and receiver. So let's look at the process. The sender is the one initiating the message. Sender composes the message in his mind. Message composing involves encoding, which is the transferring of your mental thoughts into words. Then message is the information that will be sent. The next step is selection of the channel of communication. The channel is the manner in which the message is sent. Channels include speaking, writing, video transmission, audio transmission, electronic transmission through an email, text or instant message, or even non-verbal communication through facial expressions, body language and gestures. So now the receiver is the one to whom the information is sent. The next stage of the communication is when the receiver of the message processes the information into understanding, called decoding. And last step in the process is feedback, which is the message sent from the receiver to the sender in response to the original message. So hope you have understood the process of interpersonal communication and the four important components in that. So now let's see the different interpersonal skills required for job. So as you can see here, these are the list of 10 interpersonal skills, in which we have listening skills, verbal communication, non-verbal communication, negotiation, problem solving, decision making, assertiveness, teamwork, flexibility, emotional intelligence. So let's see this one by one. First I'll tell you listening skills. So what are listening skills? It is the ability to accurately receive and interpret messages in the communication process. It is very important for good understanding and effective communication. Good listening skills can lead to better customer satisfaction and high productivity. So to be a good active listener in the office, there are two components for success: attention and reflection. Attention includes eye contact, posture, facial expressions, gestures and genuine interest in what the person is saying. And reflection includes repeating and paraphrasing what you have heard, showing the person that you truly understand what has been said. Now we will see 5 stages of listening process. First is receiving. Receiving means hearing and attending what speaker is saying. Second is understanding. Understanding means learning and deciphering meaning about what speaker wants to say. Third is remembering. Remembering means to recall and retain the information. Fourth is evaluating. Evaluating means to judge and criticize that information. Fifth is responding. Responding means answering and giving feedback to the speaker. So now you have understood the 5 stages of listening. Next we will move on to how to be a good listener. So to be a good listener, one must follow particular body language as shown in the image. Always make good eye contact with the speaker. Keep your mouth quiet. Allow your ears to listen carefully. Your brain should be thinking what speaker is saying. Hands and feet should be still. If you will follow this body language, you can definitely become a good listener. So now just move to our second interpersonal skill, that is verbal communication. Verbal communication means sharing information between individuals by using words. Now how you can share the information, ideas, feeling, thoughts and memories? You can share anything. But you can share all this through various channels for verbal communication, which are face-to-face interaction, video chat, talk on mobile or telephone, give speech, send voicemail, give lecture or send email, or also you can write a letter. So all these are different forms of verbal communication. Now next see non-verbal communication, which is the third interpersonal skill, which is very important. Non-verbal communication means sharing of information by using expressions or actions. It is the process of sending and receiving messages without using words. So there are 5 different types of non-verbal communication. First is facial expression, second is body movements, third eye contact, fourth hand gestures, fifth postures. So facial expressions. Our face is extremely expressive. We can express countless emotions without saying a word. Like as you can refer this image, happiness, sadness, anger, surprise, fear and disgust, all are different types of facial expression. Second, you can see here the image of body movements. The way you move your body parts and carry yourself shows your state of mind. Different body movements indicates different emotions. You can refer this image where an employee is shown with different body movements like confident, confused, frustrated, nervous and excited. Third is eye contact. Eye contact, it is very important in communication because it shows your interest, affection and attraction. Try to maintain good eye contact while communicating with anyone. Avoid staring at it may look bad and the other person can also feel uncomfortable. Fourth point is hand gestures. So hand gestures, we all are used to different hand gestures in our daily communication, but they vary according to different cultures, regions and countries. We wave, point, beckon and use our hands while speaking. Be sure while using hand gestures to avoid misinterpretation. The next, fifth is postures. The way we sit or stand shows our state of mind. Try to be in a relaxed posture to look more approachable. If you are standing with your arms crossed, it shows you are not ready for communication. To look more energetic and confident, you can just stand or sit with your back straight, arms open and feet are relaxed. So now move to fourth interpersonal skill, which is negotiation. Negotiation is a discussion between two or more people to reach a beneficial outcome over some issue. It is a method by which people settle differences through compromise or agreement while avoiding argument and dispute. It requires listening skills, communication skills, negotiating skills, problem solving skills and influencing skills. So now we will learn the process of negotiation. So first step, as you can see here, is preparation. Preparation means prepare for topic what you want and what others want. Second step you can see here is discussion. Discuss about topic in details. Third step is proposition. Propose your plan or scheme to customer or client. Fourth step is bargaining. Bargaining means negotiate the terms and conditions of plan. Fifth and last step is agreement, that is finalize the deal. So this is the process of negotiation. So now we will learn the fifth interpersonal skill, that is problem solving. Problem solving is very important to learn because we all face problems on a daily basis. So everybody can get benefit from having good problem solving skills. Problem solving is the ability to solve all problems efficiently in a given time period. Skills required for problem solving are mental skills, analytical skills and creative skills. Mental skills are the mental abilities to learn and perform successfully. It includes concentration, goal setting and self-talk, imaginary and mental rehearsal. Analytical skills are the ability to visualize, articulate, conceptualize or solve both complex and uncomplicated problems by making decisions. Creative skills are the skills which enable you to think more creatively, innovate and adapt to change more easily. Next, we will learn the steps of problem solving. See, effective problem solving involves working through 5 different steps. First step is problem identification. It involves detecting and recognizing a problem, identifying the nature of the problem and defining the problem. Second step is problem analysis. It involves observation and inspection of problem to generate possible courses of action. Third step is plan development. It involves careful analysis of the different courses of action and then selecting the best solution for implementation. Fourth step is plan implementation. It involves accepting and implementing the chosen course of action. Fifth and last step is plan evaluation. It is the last step which involves reviewing the outcomes of problem solving, including feedback to know the success of the chosen course of action. So here we complete the 5th skill. Now we will move to 6th interpersonal skill, that is decision making. We all have to make decisions all the time, like what to have for lunch, where to go and what to work. In organization also, decision making is very important. Decision making is the selection of a course of action from the available options. The skills required for decision making are task skills, relational skills and procedural skills. Task skills refers to common task. Task skills refers to general skills which is important to successfully complete many common tasks found in most work environments. Relational skills are the work skills used to describe the ways in which professionals interact with each other. Procedural skills includes areas of clinical care that require physical and practical skills of the clinician to perform technical task or medical procedure. There are 8 key steps in the process of decision making. So let's learn the process of decision making. First step is to identify the problem. It means recognizing the problem or opportunity and deciding to address it. Second step is gathering the information. It's time to gather information so that you can make a decision based on facts and data. This requires making a value judgment, determining what information is relevant to the decision at hand along with how you get it. Ask yourself what you need to know in order to make the right decision and then actively seek out anyone who needs to be involved. Third step is explore the options. Once you have clear understanding of the issue, it's time to identify the various solutions at your disposal. It's likely that you have many different options when it comes to making your decision. So it is important to come up with a range of options. This helps you determine which course of action is the best way to achieve your objective. Fourth step is to evaluate the options. In this step, you will need to evaluate for feasibility, acceptability and desirability to know which alternative is best. Managers need to be able to weigh pros and cons and then select the option that has the highest chance of success. Fifth step is choose the option. When it's time to make your decision, be sure that you understand the risk involved with your chosen route. You may also choose a combination of alternatives with all relevant information and potential risk. Sixth step is to implement the decision. So now you will need to create a plan for implementation. This involves identifying what resources are required and gaining support from employees and stakeholders. Getting others on board with your decision is a key component of executing your plan effectively. So be prepared to address any questions or concerns that may arise. Seventh step is to monitor the impact. It is very important stage in the decision making process, which is evaluating your decision for effectiveness. Eighth step is to modify the decision. This is the last step. So be ready to adapt your plan as necessary or to switch to another potential solution. If you find your decision didn't work out the way you planned, you may want to repeat some of the previous steps to identify a better choice. So now we have understood the process of decision making. Now let's move to our seventh interpersonal skill, that is assertiveness. Assertiveness is the ability to express your feelings and rights along with respecting others' feelings and rights. So this is the quality of being self-assured and confident without being aggressive. It is a skill referred in training of social and communication skill. Being assertive means being able to stand for your own rights in a calm and a positive way without being aggressive or passively accepting wrong. Everyone act in a different ways, like passive, aggressive and assertive from time to time. Assertive behavior makes the balance point between passive and aggressive behavior. Assertiveness also means encouraging others to be honest and open about their views, feelings and wishes. The benefits of being assertive increases your self-esteem, makes you self-confident, helps in gaining respect of others, reduces stress, enhances career growth, improves decision making. So all these are the benefits of being assertive. Now let's learn the eighth interpersonal skill, that is teamwork. It is the ability to work well in a group or a team to achieve a common goal. Teamwork has many benefits. It builds trust, increases morale, boosts productivity, encourages creativity and increases work efficiency. So team can achieve more in less time. So teamwork is very important in every job. Ninth interpersonal skill is flexibility. It is the ability to shift, adjust and react to changing work environment. Today's changing world requires high flexibility in the workplace. It increases your career opportunities, balances your work life, helps you to deal with diversity at work. So flexibility is very important. My 10th interpersonal skill for you is emotional intelligence. Emotional intelligence is the ability to identify and manage your own emotions and the emotions of others. Employees with high EQ are good in work. Employees with high EQ are good to work in teams, adjustable and flexible. Daniel Goleman's model in 1998 consists of 5 areas, because he focuses on EI as a wide array of competencies and skills that drive leadership performance. And the 5 areas are: first is self-awareness. If a person has a healthy sense of self-awareness, he understands his own strengths and weaknesses, as well as how his actions affect others. A person who is self-aware is usually better able to handle and learn from constructive criticism than one who is not. Second is self-regulation. A person with a high EQ can manage his or her emotions and adapt to changing situations. Third are social skills. People who are emotionally intelligent are able to build rapport and trust quickly with others on their teams. They can manage others' emotion to move them in the desired direction. They usually enjoy with the other people and have the sense of and have the respect of others around them. Fourth is empathy. A person who has empathy can connect with other people on an emotional level. The ability to empathize allows a person to provide great support and respond genuinely to others' concerns. They recognize, understand and consider other people's, especially while making decisions. Fifth is motivation. Emotionally intelligent people are self-motivated. They are not motivated simply by money or a title. They are optimistic when they encounter failures and driven by their inner voice. So this is all about interpersonal skills. I have shared 10 interpersonal skills with you in this video. Hope you liked my video and understood it. Thank you for watching this video. Please share my video if you like it. Press the like button and subscribe my YouTube channel for watching more videos. You can also press the bell icon and subscribe button to subscribe my channel. Thank you once again.